Hey, Professor. Can't believe it's the end of the semester already. So what I thought I would do is just, read the questions and answer from there. Just kind of casually or whatever. So, identify and explain what changes you personally experienced or are experiencing. Oh, if you can't tell, I'm doing option number one, the COVID. So, changes I've personally experienced or are experiencing due to the pandemic. Changes, well, so I was working a assistant manager job at a Domino's. I didn't get fired, but I just told my manager that I want to take a break until things start to calm down. So that's a change. I don't technically have a job anymore. And also, if you remember, I do that suicide hotline thing. So that's picked up because now I have all this free time, and um, just the amount of people texting into our platform has risen for obvious reasons. So that's another change. Um, but yeah, besides that, just staying in kind of sucks. Um, but it's actually been a little bit more difficult to motivate myself for school. um, just procrastinating because, when you're stuck inside all day, you're tired, you don't want to do anything. You know how that goes. I'll just keep going. Number two, explain what effective leadership looks like and practices they should be implementing during this time. So effective leadership, I guess I'll just name some traits I think that leaders should have during times of crisis, like a pandemic. So first is intelligence. I think it's important for a leader to maybe do a little extra research into what this virus is, so that when they're leading people, people can, find that they're credible in what they're talking about. They should show empathy, because this is a very serious issue and many loved ones are dying. So a good leader needs to show empathy for people that have lost loved ones. And being able to execute, people, like, people don't quite understand, like, I feel like the majority of people don't really understand how serious it is. So I think a good leader needs to, kind of put his foot down and execute on, plans that he makes for helping to keep people safe, so on and so forth. Just being able to execute, not be wishy-washy on, like, decisions. So yeah, identify leadership skills critical to navigate through the storm. So I thought, because like I mentioned, this is like a brand new scenario that people aren't used to. So I thought a leader during this time should probably be more authoritarian. Have all the power. People don't understand, or don't really understand, like, what responsibilities they need to take. So I figure, as a leader, you should be able to take responsibility for them and keep them, secure, which then falls into theory X, where, people are just looking to be secure. They don't want that responsibility. They want you to take care of them. So I figured that would kind of mesh well, being authoritarian and exercising theory X. Have other countries handled this crisis more effectively than the U.S.? Yeah, so I looked up other countries that have been, doing things more efficiently than us, and I found South Korea are one of the best. I say a lot, sorry. I read up on it, and they openly and publicly offered people to test much more openly, much more. It was a much more easy process than what we have here. So as a result, in like March, they had already done like 300,000 tests, while the U.S. had only done like 70. So I think that for people to have that option so easy to do, or like just so openly able to do it, so people know early on when they have it, and then are therefore able to quarantine themselves early on. And so I figured, relating that back to the course, South Korea has more of a laissez-faire approach. You know, they kind of lay back, they offer it, the testing. The leader of South Korea actually mentioned he didn't want to quarantine his people. He didn't think that was the correct way to go about things. So the laissez-faire then falls into theory why, you know, people taking their own responsibility, making the decision to go and get the test done. So yeah. What was right and wrong by leadership addressing the situation by Casey? Something right, I guess, by Casey was canceling classes early. I guess all of Georgia early. I kind of feel like, when was it canceled? Was it end of, I think it was beginning of March, if I remember. I'm glad that the Georgia Department of Education canceled so early, so that we were able to, you know, start quarantining and not be around so many other students, and therefore have a higher chance of getting the virus. Something wrong, I definitely don't agree with what Brian Kemp, his recent acts, where he allowed last Friday for different types of businesses to start opening up. I don't think that's a good idea. I think another month, you know, but we'll see where that goes. I don't see this ending well for us here in Georgia, but I guess we'll see. Has COVID-19 changed how you prepare for future crisis? I mean, not really. This is so out of the blue, you know. And it, like, stuff like this doesn't stress me out. Honestly, I guess just preparing as in, like, I don't know. I really don't think it changed much for me personally. I guess just mentally preparing, maybe, knowing how bad things can get, is one thing I could prepare for, and is staying mentally strong when something happens that you're not ready for. Whether it be any kind of crisis. Maybe you have a surprise surgery you have to get, or maybe you get sick with a different kind of virus, you know. I guess being mentally ready for that and knowing how serious it can be is something that I can prepare for. Do you see this as opportunity or setback? I see this as an opportunity. Okay, I'm already at 8 minutes. I'll try to hurry. I see it as an opportunity because I've learned so much from doing the suicide prevention. I've talked to a lot of people who are afraid of it, and so I saw that as an opportunity to hone my skills with helping people, because I found that was something I struggled with as a leader, not being as empathetic as I wanted to be. So that was something. Has COVID-19 impacted your future career, personal plans? No, not really, because like I said, although I am taking a break from my job, I wasn't fired, so I can always go back to it. And what was the first thing you'll do when things return to normal? I plan on going to a restaurant. I just want to go to a restaurant and sit down and eat. Alright, that is it. Thanks for being a great professor. I really enjoyed your class. And yeah, have a great summer.